Ronnie sells Monica's house to Drew. Tracy reads Ronnie the riot act for selling out to Drew, and Curtis seeks advice before confronting Portia. Wednesday, October 29, 2025. Today on General Hospital, Nathan has words with his sister over Rocco. Dante warns Lulu that Britt could be dangerous, and Jacinda chooses between Michael and Nina. Credit, ABC screenshot. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. General Hospital made the best of an awful situation, but it means we're about to lose, spoiler, and possibly, spoiler, too. At the hospital, Britt and Liz get into another tiff over Britt using her work time for personal tasks, when Nathan appears and interrupts them. Liz leaves them, and Nathan explains to his sister that Rocco wasn't supposed to have dinner with all of them without his parents knowing. Britt realizes the problem here isn't Nathan or her mother, but her. Nathan notes that Lulu still has a right to be angry at her and wants to protect her son. He tells Britt that if she wants what is best for Rocco, she should not undermine Lulu's wishes. Curtis opens up to Laura. Curtis runs into Isaiah in the halls and asks where his wife is. Isaiah snaps that he isn't her keeper, but he will let her know he's looking for her when he sees her. Curtis then bumps into Laura and notes he could use a friend if she has a minute. They sit down and he tells her that he and Portia are getting a divorce, but now a new issue has emerged. Portia may be pregnant and hasn't told him. He explains Jordan is the one who deduced it. Curtis admits he still feels a pull toward Jordan, but if there is a baby, he doesn't know what this means for his and Portia's future. He knows keeping or terminating the child is up to Portia, but he'll do what it takes to convince Portia to go through with the pregnancy. Laura asks if that means reconciling with Portia. Dante and Lulu don't see eye to eye. Dante stops by Lulu's, who tells him about Rocco's dinner with Albrecht and company, and that their son hid it from them. Dante wants to confront their son, but Lulu suggests they let him come to them. She feels he's hiding this because he fears it will hurt her. Charlotte and Rocco come down, and Dante asks his son where he was the other night when he was working late and Lulu and Charlotte were visiting Valentine. Dante presses the boy and Charlotte steps in and notes they forgot to organize Tracy's boxes on the porch, so the siblings rush out to do so. Lulu scolds Dante for trying to crack their son using his detective skills. Dante and Lulu realize Charlotte knows about the dinner and helped Rocco cover. Dante admits he's worried as there could be an element of danger here, given that Britt is involved. What is Portia's plan? Portia meets Ava at the Metro Court bar and reveals that she and Curtis are getting a divorce. Portia says there is more, she's pregnant, and she doesn't know who the father is. Ava orders another drink, noting this discussion requires one. Portia admits to her friend that she slept with Isaiah, which is an HR nightmare, but she doesn't regret it, and her marriage was over in her mind. However, this likely won't go over well with Trina. Portia is planning to keep her pregnancy a secret until she can get a paternity test after the first trimester, but Jordan suspects she's pregnant and may have already told Curtis. She knows if Isaiah is the father, it will devastate Trina, which is why she's come to Ava for help. Trina will need Ava's support. Ava will do anything for Trina, and says that extends to Portia too. Will Jacinda take Nina's offer? In the Crimson office, Nina offers Jacinda a big check to drop her alibi of Michael. Drew walks in and wonders if she's paying Jacinda to drug someone else. She says she's paying her to save Willow. Jacinda takes off and Drew asks why he's here. After they bicker and rehash Willow's current drama, and Michael likely framing her, Nina informs Drew that she's paid Jacinda to no longer be Michael's alibi. Drew reveals his own plan to buy the Quartermain estate, which will cause Michael to become destabilized and lash out. That will prove Michael is reckless enough to have tried to kill him. Did Ronnie really sell out to Drew? At the Quartermains, Tracy tells Ronnie, "Over my dead body," in response to her announcement that she's selling the house. Ronnie won't look any of them in the eyes as she tries to explain that this house is too big, and there are too many people here, which she's not used to. Olivia tries to convince Ronnie that this could be her family and home if she worked to make it so. Tracy butts in and suggests that Ronnie sell the house to Michael. Michael offers to pay whatever she wants, but Ronnie admits she's accepted an offer from another buyer. Michael is interrupted by a call and has to take off. The QS ask, who did she sell it to? Drew walks in and chimes, that would be me. Ned asks why Ronnie would do this, given that she knows about the destruction Drew has caused them. Drew says he was open with and kind to Ronnie, and they bonded over being outsiders, so she agreed to sell his mother's home to him. Ronnie, who stares at the floor for almost the entire episode, claims she never wanted to be part of this, this family or their squabbles. She is selling the house and moving on with her life. Tracy snarks, so you are abandoning the responsibility your sister honored you with and left to you? What a surprise. What was so important that Michael left? Michael meets Jacinda at the Metro Court, and she tells him that Nina offered her a check to drop her alibi. Michael offers her double, but he suspects money can't buy her trust, which is what he wants. He says she holds the power here, so what does she want to do? Meanwhile, Portia takes off after talking with Ava, and Ava notices Jacinda with Michael and calls Nina to invite her to a drink and to partake in some interesting people watching. In the show's final moments. At the hospital, Laura tells Curtis that staying in a marriage that isn't working isn't fair to a little baby. She asks him to think about what he wants. In a perfect world, Curtis wants his baby, but he wants Jordan too. Britt tells her brother he seems to know a lot about parenting for someone who hasn't raised a kid. Nathan understands Lulu's position as he has missed being James' father, a role that's gone to Spinelli. Britt says, so if Ben Rocco reaches out to me, then I'm supposed to turn him away? Nathan tells her yes. At Lulu's, Dante reveals to Lulu that Anna believes Britt and Nathan's resurfacing is connected to Faison and his people. Nathan may want nothing to do with Faison, but Britt is another story. On the porch, Charlotte tells her brother that his parents know he's lying, so he has to come clean about the dinner and deflect them from what they really don't want them to know about. Emma's plan to take down Dalton. Isaiah returns to his cabin with donuts, only to find Portia is gone. At the restaurant, Jacinda tells Michael that Nina treats her like a commodity, and Michael treats her like a person, so she's sticking with him. Across the way, Nina arrives to meet Ava, who points her in Jacinda and Michael's direction just as the two toast to their partnership. Isaiah calls Portia, who says she had to come into the office to finish paperwork, and she'll get right back to him as soon as she can.